Hey guys, it's Tombox.
I'm back.
Now, first of all, thank all of you guys for the well wishes. For those of you guys who didn't know, I paid a ER visit on Saturday. Basically went to the hospital on Saturday, and if you guys don't really care about that, you want to skip into the content, feel free to go click right here into this button so that the time code can appear right here, and you guys can go ahead and skip ahead. So on Saturday, I basically was put into the ER because of what the doctor called, I think, severe digestion issues. Whatever it was, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. It was just a mild pain about 5 in the morning. I woke my wife up, and I was like, hey, can you take me to a walking clinic? But apparently on the weekends there are no walking clinics open at all. Basically tried the entire area and the city, 2 cities across, and there's just nothing. So that mild pain eventually escalated to a sharp pain. That sharp pain lasted for over probably 3 hours, and then I was basically put into the ER. And when I went to the ER, I had to wait another 3 hours before I was finally put on some painkillers, and then got my x-rays done, and I basically looked terrible the entire time. And finally they kind of figured out what was wrong, and they gave me a prescription of this. I think I have to take this for the next 3 weeks, and I have to change my diet for the 3 weeks, and I lose all the favorite things I like to eat, and I can't eat spicy food, which is no more spicy challenge for me for the next 3 weeks. Or I don't know, maybe ever. We'll see. And so all I can tell you guys is take care of your body. You're not a badass for pulling in all-nighters, because I think a lot of contributing factor would be like, I don't get enough sleep, like, ever. Working full-time and doing YouTube is not a good combination, and stressing out over like a lot of little things here and there. And fortunately I am in Canada, so I will not be starting a Kickstarter to pay for my medical bills, and also I have, company health insurance, so don't worry about that. I'm all good in that front. So TLDR, it's not COVID, it was digestive issues, and I am recovering for the next 3 weeks. Now for today's video, we're going to be breaking down the best cards from Ghosts from the Past. Now, was it as good as the fake leaks? Obviously not. And to anyone that kind of pre-ordered at 200% MSRP, man, you guys got scammed. And the moral of the story is, to all the tubers out there, don't review fake lists to drive up the hype and fake prices, man. It's just hurting people at this point. Sorry, went on a tangent there. Now, essentially, the set can be broken down into 4 categories. The Ghost Rare Chase, there is the new cards for the TCG, mainly the 3 new archetypes, and a bunch of archetype support, mainly OCG imports. And there are 2 types of reprints in this set. Reprints to destroy the secondary market. To give access to old archetypes with new strats. And then there are reprints for the archetype bling bling. Insert shiny sound effect here. Starting off with Ghost Rares. Now, pulling a Ghost Rare is always going to be good. So technically, from best to quote-unquote worst, Dark Magician number 1 spot, Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos number 2 slot, number 3 slot Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, number 4 slot Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, number 5 Firewall Dragon. Now, the number 1 on Dark Magician is pretty obvious. It's the most collectible out of the bunch, whether you're old school or new school. This is something that you would want and would age nicely over time, something that you might want to get send graded. As for the Blackluster Soldier over the Blue Eyes White Dragon, well, the thing is, that's Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, which is basically easy access to a lot of people, and it's not the OG Blue Eyes. OG Blue Eyes would have been up there with Dark Magician, I think probably even above Dark Magician, especially if it has the starter deck art. However, since this is not the case, Blackluster Soldier's current alternative print, which would be the secret rare from the Battles of Legend, that one's still over $110, and that's why I'm putting the Blackluster Soldier higher than the Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. But maybe over time it will change. The Alternative White over time may surpass it. In fact, they could have been, switched around. As for the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, the Firewall Dragon's kind of a downgrade reprint with an errata, kind of like a functional one. And the artwork, it's not the OG Firewall Dragon. That to me makes me a bit sad. As for the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, I guess it's nice to finally have a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I don't know where this one kind of came from. I think they could have made a Dark Magician girl in there easily, and it would have been like one of the best sets. But maybe they're saving it for another time. They always had to keep something, in their back pocket just so that they can pull it out just to drive hype up again. So maybe they're saving it for that. But ultimately, what's going to determine their worth is going to be whether or not any of these are short printed, and that's going to depend on if there's going to be a vendor that's going to be cracking open case after case to shoot for these Ghost Rares, and maybe they can give us the ratios and if there's any kind of ratio skewing to any particular card. New TCG debut. Now, I read the entire set and I picked out 10 cards that are the best cards making its debut in the TCG. And don't worry guys, I'll probably do a archetype TLDR for those of you guys who are too busy to read the cards themselves. First pick is going to be Hell Shaddoll Hollow. This is a welcome addition to the Shaddoll lineup, and it's very big. Strange that it is a level 9, but it's fine. You even play with Beast, and the levels don't really matter once you send stuff with Wendy. Great flip effect, great send to grave effect. Flip effect is probably better than the send to grave because you get to remove one of your opponent's monster, but before the removal, you have to send one card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard matching the attribute, and then you get to banish their card. And then the card that you send to grave gets to trigger, which is really good, especially if it's dark. Send an Apgalone, you know, dig for whatever card you want, send a light, send construct, just free card digging. I don't know what more you want to ask. And it's also 29.29, so it's beefy, it's good, that's why I like it. Second pick is going to be Starry Night Starry Dragon. This card is the core of the Starry Night deck. It's just a big threat and wall remover. In terms of threat removal, whenever you summon it from your hand, you get to target a card in the field, pop it. And it's not once per turn, which is great. If it didn't target, that'd be insane, but it does target, which gives it a little bit of fairness. And even in the battle phase, it acts as a wall remover, because if it attacks the first time, you get to banish the first monster and attack again in a row. So yeah, I don't know what you want to say about this card, but it is going to clear out a lot of monsters on the field, and cards too, because the popping is for everything. Pick number 3 is going to be Erratic Skydragon, Overlord of the Heliopolis. This is more of a generic one because the generic anti-targeting rank 8, basically if you try to target anything, you get to detach and pop it. It's very generic, but it's good to add it for the rank 8 toolbox. And speaking of rank 8, I guess this is not really rank 8. Pick number 4 is going to be Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon, because Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, whenever it steals a monster, changes its name into basically a Cypher Dragon, and Galaxy Eyes Cypher X can stack on top of any Cypher Dragon monster, which basically is like that friend that borrowed 20 bucks from you, was going to return it to you, but now he decided to keep it, and well, what are you going to do about it? This is a permanent steal and gives it an additional 1,000 attack. At least that's what most people are going to be using it for. Number 5 is going to be Time Thief Double Barrel. I guess combined with the adjuster and all the other strategies they're going to be able to play, I feel like they're going to get a little bit of a tier bump, and we'll see a lot more of this deck, which is why this is here. And for the effect of Double Barrel, if you have a spell to detach with it, it's going to be a monster steal quick effect. That's pretty insane, and that disrupts basically most strategies overall. Pick number 6, Dragoonity Armagram. This card is just a Dragon Ruler. Honestly, just banish 2 Winged Beast or Dragon Monster. You can summon this card from your hand or graveyard, and it can negate effects, and it's 29. It's really big, and whatever it destroys, it equips, and if it's equipped and it activates its effect to negate stuff, it also reduces the attack by 1,000 per equip card you control. And you don't have to control an equip card to actually use the effect, which means it's really good. I don't know what more you want me to say. Number 7, we're going into the Ritual line. We're looking into Necros of Ariha Bear. Probably butchered it, but whatever. We're going to double Foolish with this card, giving us quick access to the mirrors, and on top of that, you can also use its on-field effect to negate monster effects, which can prevent you from getting hit by stuff like Nibiru, which is really nice, or even Gamma. It also banishes whatever that you negate, so that's really good. In terms of like the stuff you send, there's like couple of Necros cards that have effects when they get banished. So if you dump a mirror plus one of those cards, you can either get Exa to summon something else that have been banished, or you want to start your graveyard up, you can use the Great Sorcerer, and then it will dump another card into the graveyard when it gets banished. So there's a lot of follow-up, which makes like adding your mirrors all like very, very useful. Number 8, Dragoonity Remus. If you're going to be playing Dragoonity because of the new support in the set, you're going to play Remus because it's your Dragon Ravine Searcher, and in the graveyard, it can summon itself back out as long as you control another Dragoonity. I know there are other restrictions that come with it, but it's not going to hinder your current playstyle, and that's what really matters here, what you're going to do with your extra. You're going to summon out dragons, basically, for the rest of the turn. Number 9, Vampire Vavode, or Dracula. Finally, they get their Dracula monster, and this card is very, very scary, especially paired with Vampire Sucker. If Vampire Sucker is on the field, there's a new level of threat because you can get your monsters tributed for this tribute summon. And is it worth playing this tribute summon? Absolutely, because your opponent gets to summon out 2 of your monsters out of your graveyard. That's pretty big. And there's a Vampire extra deck monster. Sheridan, I believe, can just overlay with your 2 monsters regardless of level, and then send something into the grave. And if something's sent to the grave, you get to steal the monster that got sent to the grave. In other words, it's a board 180, and yeah, that's quite scary, very threatening, and it's gonna add a new level of caution when it comes to a vampire sucker being on the. And number 10, Starry Night Royale. I know this is kind of double stacking on the archetypes, just like Dragoonity, but this is such an essential card in the deck because this searches out your spell card to Rhoda your Starry Night Starry Dragon. Yeah, and also has a banish base effect too. So there's a lot going for this card, and it's essential part of the Starry Night deck, which is why this is really cool. And it's also an 18 beat stick, which is why I really like the card. Now, I didn't cover the Fairy Tale Rocket card. Why am I not saying it's like among the top 10? Because nothing good comes out of your opponent seeing your cards. That's number one reason. Like, if your opponent knows what you're playing, they'll know how to pre-counter it if they're a really good player. And as for Sun Avalon, I'm sorry, I didn't have any really recommended cards for this because you're still missing a ton of stuff to be playable. You're full of meta holes at the moment, and consistency-wise, you're pretty easy to break. And yeah, I don't know what else do you want me to add. You need your negator, you need your bouncer. That's not a Sun Avalon card, and we'll get to that when we get there. If you guys enjoyed the video so far, take 2 quick seconds to hit that subscribe button or hit the like button. It really shows me that you guys care, and don't worry, you guys won't get a slow play warning for this. It's just part of the gameplay. In fact, you'll get a UC channel warning if you don't do it right now. But anyways, thanks for clicking those buttons. Let's continue. And for the reprints. These may be my preferences, but they are objectively the best option in the entire set for reprints. Number 1, Evenly Matched. Staple card, just keep it ready whenever it comes back into the meta, and you don't have to fork an arm and a leg just to play Evenly Matched to wipe someone else's board out. So, you know, it's a good card. Everyone should have it, and now everyone's going to get access to it. Number 2, Emergency Teleport. This card has been going up in price, even with High Speed Rider reprint and even the gold. Oh my god, the gold, ugly gold ones. They are pretty up there, and giving access to everyone is a good thing, and I have no complaints there. And also lets you play with your Cosmo tin can. It's kind of like a way for us to promote Cosmos in some sense. And then number 3, Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Dragon Link players definitely boosted this one up to the roof. I mean, it was like $2 when it came out, and now it's like, what, in the 20s? Now it's going to settle back down, which is great. Yeah, the market is definitely getting a little bit screwed. Number 4, Buster Dragon. This is a nice one. I mean, this is the first reprint of this card. I mean, I went into a case of Bosch. I had a ton of these, and offloading this was really, really easy until now, because you can't. It's going to be a pretty cheap card in general. So what are you guys going to do about it? It's nice that you can counter Dragon Link, you know, at a fraction of the price. It doesn't have to cost you your left kidney or anything like that. As for the next 3 cards, they're all Cosmo cards. These were the real money Cosmo cards. They used to be the Bank Destroyer, but now it's going to be Tin Can, Dark Lady, and Cosmojo, each of which were all above $20. And well, Tin Can being a 3F staple, it's really nice to see that this is going to be a much more affordable deck. And Cosmojo's ability to destroy your own card and banish one of your opponent's cards, we might see a resurgence of these Cosmo decks, because disruption in the meta is quite relevant. Now, number 8 is kind of a different one. It is the full foiling of all the archetypes that were missing a couple of cards. Am I right? What am I gonna say? Madolche, Erratic, Salad, Time Thief, Metal Foes. All of these archetypes get a full foil bling into their deck, which is something I really, really like, especially the Madolche part. My wife will appreciate that. Then there is number 9, Phantomite Fogblade. There's not enough Fogblade to go around. Even the reprints that were like $2-3 are like all the way up, and this reprint is going to put it all the way back down. But be careful. As time progresses, even some of these reprints will start spiking back up if there is the right demand for it. But, you know, flooding the market is also a good thing, because it also keeps the price down, so it won't like rise up any quicker than before. And finally, number 10, Dragoon Phalanx. Although Phalanx was dropped from the Dragon Link deck, because there's no point in playing the equips anymore, Phalanx have been making a bit of a resurgence thanks to DMZ Dragon, and also like the popularity of this card never really went away, because there was always the notion of, oh, there's going to be Dragoonity support, and it's in this set, and they're reprinting Phalanx in the set. So, you know, these are all good moves by Konami. Yeah, what else am I supposed to say? But these are the 10 best reprints in my opinion, which is the best opinion. If you guys like the video, smash that thumbs up button. Shout out to Imperium Duelist for hooking up with this hoodie. It's really comfortable and really warm, so I really appreciate you guys. Now, if you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, maybe an archetype breakdown, maybe Nishi's going to break down the market changes, well, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. You know, make sure you get your money's worth. And, well, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you guys in the next one as I recover.